At first, I didn't connect with Prague at all. I felt like the city was made for tourists, was too crowded, and was not what I expected. When my parents and friends visited, they described it as Disneyland like, and that was how it felt to me. The tourist attractions seemed kind of fake, and everything was extremely busy. I wasn't a tourist exactly, but I also wasn't Czech. I barely understood the language, but I also didn't feel like a temporary visitor the same way as the thousands of other people walking through the old town with their selfie sticks and tour guide groups were. I often felt trapped, unwelcomed, and isolated. While Prague is known for its famous old town and sights, I hated being stuck in the accompanying crowds, shoved around by people, and paranoid about pickpockets. One day, I walked home from school particularly frustrated and realized, with 2 months left in the city, I really needed to find a way to connect with the place and stop trying to distance myself. I thought about what I loved most about my home city, San Francisco, and the many other cities I have visited. What stood out in my mind as a commonality between many of my favorite places was the presence of green space. From that moment on, I made it my mission to explore all of the parks of Prague. On my morning runs and meandering walks home from school, I did my best to avoid the tourist traps and instead looked to find my own unique green places. One weekend, I mapped out a run across the Vltava River and discovered my favorite park in Prague that has incredible views of the city. I later brought my roommates and friends here for sunset picnics, which became a favorite tradition. When my parents visited, we drove to the outskirts of the city to an incredible area with strange rock formations and massive trees. I even found a little park in our own neighborhood, Carlene, where we would bring ice cream sandwiches from the shop on the corner on hot days. These spaces I discovered brought me joy and a sense of belonging. While surface level touristy Prague and I were like oil and water, finding parts of the city I could connect with was critical to finding my place within the city and reshaping my experience after a tough start.